Greetings from Costa Rica. Whereas typically I'm talking about Guanacaste real estate on my channel, this past week my family had such an amazing, impactful experience while on a road trip within Costa Rica that today I wanted to share a little bit about that experience with my audience, really because it encapsulates one of the top reasons I think people should consider moving to Costa Rica, and that is absolutely the warmth and hospitality of Costa Ricans. While on this road trip, we met some complete strangers who took us into their home and treated us like absolute family members. And it was a beautiful experience. We saw some amazing things and visited sites that I don't think often get covered when we're talking about Costa Rica marketing and sort of what you see online. So I wanted to share this experience and give a few ideas for when you visit here, ways to experience the country in a deeper, more profound, and enjoyable way than just visiting beaches and taking those standard tours. My name is Matt Rosensteel. You can learn more about my real estate, sir, or you can get more information about Guanacaste real estate by emailing me at matt@costaricamat.com. You can also visit costaricamat.com and request my V-book, which is 20 plus videos with different chapters on the different aspects of Costa Rica real estate, taxes, residency, all kinds of stuff. It's very easy to request. It's completely free, and you can get that at costaricamat.com. Let's talk a little bit about where we were headed and why. So first of all, we have a friend here in Junquillal who is not from this area. He's from a different part of the country over in Cartago, and he highly recommended that we visit the Guayabo National Monument near his hometown. Guayabo is across the country on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica. Here you can see where it is on the map on the right-hand side with the red pin. Our blue dot is our home. That drive took about 7 hours, just for anybody who's curious. The Guayabo National Monument is a site where you've got the remains of a Cabe city. I'll bring that up here so that you can see just a little bit what I'm talking about. The Cabecares, this indigenous tribe, had built a functioning aqueduct system. Sorry, I'm switching between Spanish and English there. That is still working today. The water comes down this stream and through the city. It has a sediment filter. This whole city is an incredible site where you can learn a lot about the history of the indigenous peoples in Costa Rica. So our friend had recommended that we travel across the country to see that. He'd also mentioned that he had some friends who have a cabina there and could host us in order to, for our lodging. So we drove across the country. First, we stopped near La Fortuna and Arenal. My kids did their first ever zip line tour. I'm going to bring up a picture from that. That was an amazing experience. Obviously, zip lines are one of the very popular things. Most tourists who come here will get to enjoy that. This particular zip line had 12 cables. It took a couple hours, and my kids absolutely loved it after they got over the fear of those first cables. And after La Fortuna, we went out to this Guayabo area, which is close to the city of Turrialba. At Guayabo, essentially, when we arrived, we checked into the cabina shown here that this family, the friend of a friend, has on their property, where they also have some beautiful, tilapia ponds, amazing gardens. And really, this is not a property we would have found anywhere on Airbnb. When we arrived there, our friend was not actually in that area. So we were sort of just meeting these strangers, his friends, and they were going to host us for the next 3 nights. And it's always tough because when you arrive, there's a little bit of awkwardness. We sort of had to feel each other out. But I can say after 3 nights of living with these folks at their home, we left feeling like their family to us. And that's something that's absolutely unique about Costa Ricans or how they receive people that really, to me, is something very special. So first of all, one of the concepts I wanted to talk about is called, in Spanish, there's the verb pasear, which Costa Ricans use, to vacation. But the concept here, pasear, you see Costa Ricans go out to visit family, friends, and a lot of times it involves tons and tons of hours where you're just sitting around with those family and friends, talking, usually having a drink or two if people are enjoying cervecitas. And really the concept of paseando, vacationing, can be very different, where you just calmly sort of spend time together. These folks who received us, I mean, it was just incredible because, first of all, they wanted to take us everywhere and show us their town. The amount of pride that they have in what they have out there is really cool. While we were with them, we went out and we took a coffee tour. Here you can see the guys explaining the process of drying coffee to us. Our host is actually on the left there, Don Raul. While we were there, we also checked out a local, this is at a cool local sort of bar, family place, where there's a bunch of places to hang out. Here again, we're looking at drying cacao and coffee. We also went to this old historic train station that's no longer in use, that's nearby their home. And they also took us to see this bridge across the Reventazón River, all kinds of local sights and sounds that they were proud to show us. They also were able to let our kids fish in their tilapia ponds. You had Don Raul helping them. Overall, we got to do and see a lot of local things that really were incredibly memorable. During this experience, we went from arriving as strangers, introducing ourselves, and then we spent these 3 days with these folks, seeing the local sites, spending time with them at night, and yes, definitely partying a bit. One of the words I should have also put up there is the concept of a tanda, where you drink a lot and sort of continue to drink a lot over the course of a couple days. Every night, the family invited either their friends or family members over to meet us, to hang out a little bit. And we hung out with them and socialized with this family really constantly for those 3 days. So whereas we could have just booked a random Airbnb or hotel, taking the recommendation of this friend, traveling to visit these people, getting to know them, and living with a family while we were there was just one of the most memorable things that I think my kids have recently experienced. And I think it's something that everyone should consider while moving to Costa Rica. If you can develop these relationships with people, if you get a recommendation, hey, my friend has a cabina out in this area, you should absolutely take them up on the invitation, go pasear where they recommend, and get into that Costa Rica lifestyle that really you may not experience whatsoever if you just book an Airbnb and stay without hosts. I want to share just a quick video clip before I sign off for today. This is my son ripsticking around the place that we were hosted during one of the nights that we were all partying together. Before I go, I want to thank sincerely our hosts, Don Raul, doña Ángela, Chitón. Les agradezco un montón por esta experiencia, pero tan lindísima que nos brindó. Muchas gracias por recibirnos. Here's that little video clip that we'll watch as we head out here. This is the family compound where Doña Angela and Don Raul, have their sort of outdoor areas. Daniel and Jonas were extremely happy because they could ripstick everywhere. And here you can see el ambiente, everybody hanging out. This was the night that Doña Angela made some absolutely incredible patacones for us. I think I have a picture of those patacones. Here they are. The food was absolutely incredible. Everybody was wonderfully warm for us. Muchísimas gracias a ellos por recibirnos. Thanks very much for watching and have a great weekend. Pura vida.